These are my last minute tips to prepare for mock exams. Number one is practice past papers under exam conditions. And what do I mean by this? Number one is to have no distractions, let it be a quiet space, and put all technologies out of the room. Anything that pings, that make noises, that have screens, put it out because you won't have it in the exam room. Secondly, set a timer and stop it once it rings. Make sure that the timer is set to the number of minutes or how much time you get to actually write that specific paper in the exam. This is important because this teaches you time management and it also allows you to be in the headspace of the time pressure. And finally, anything on your desk should be what you have in the exam room. For me, in my case, it was a pen, a clear water bottle, and a highlighter, and I think this is what you can have in most exams. The reason why all of these little things are important is because it lets you get the feeling of what an exam condition is like, the pressure, how you can deal with it, how quiet it is. It gets you into the environment and technically just prepares your headspace, because in an exam you both need to know the knowledge and how to answer the paper, but you also need to know how to overcome the stress. So this is very important. Secondly, it's to review the mark schemes for every subject and for every single different type of test or paper. Why is this important? Because it helps you understand the grade boundaries and the small things you can do to improve and go above to the next grade boundary. For example, in economics, you are trapped in one grade boundary if you forget to label your diagrams properly. That's such an easy thing to improve on. It's not a big issue to remember how to label the diagram. So then you can level up just simply from labeling your diagram. So understanding that this is a grade boundary is important. Finally, it also allows you to see exactly how your examiners will look at your work and grade it. So it kind of, when you're in the exam room and you see a question, you're put in the mindset of the examiner. What else do they want to see from my answer? What else can I add? What is not necessary? What is redundant in terms of skills and what you put on the paper, not just the knowledge. Last of all, my final tip is to plan your timing breakdown of each paper. What I mean by this is that for each exam paper you write, have a rough time range set in your mind. So don't write this down, no need for that, for how long you'll spend on each question. So time management helps you focus during the exam and allows you to have confidence that you have enough time to answer everything. An example of this would be history. The SL or HL paper 1 is 60 minutes, right? You have 4 questions, and even question 1 has parts A and parts B. So here, question 1A is 3 marks. I set aside usually 6 minutes for it. The 2-mark question I put 4 minutes. The 4-mark question I gave 8 minutes. The 6-mark question I gave 12 to 15 minutes, and the 9-mark question I gave 20 to 25 minutes. For these small mark questions, as you can see, I just multiplied it by 2, but then these larger mark questions, I did a little more than that, and I'll make a different video of how I time this. This is also based on practice. You can't just put aside 20 minutes if you can't answer a 2-mark question quickly. So this is also based on your practice, and I'll do a whole video series to break down each paper and how to do it quickly, swiftly, but thoroughly. Another example is the ESS SL paper 1. Total is 65 minutes. And in ESS paper 1, you have section A, which is, as I look, is 25 points. I dedicated 20 to 25 minutes for that. And section B, you answer 2 questions. There's an option of 4. And so, but it leads to 40 points. I dedicate 40 to 45 minutes. Again, this is not just a rough estimate in my mind. It's because of practice of the questions, and also if you have a concrete understanding of the units, you can answer the small mark questions in section A really quickly, 25 points in maybe even 20 minutes, so you can have 45 minutes for the longer essay questions in section B. So my upcoming video will actually be the time management for each exam paper that I took, because I don't want to speak on the expertise of subjects I didn't study for. So this is all my tips for mock exams. All the best, and I'll see you next time.